Welcome to the Christmas special of the Waffle Shop podcast. Joining me today is one of my favorite people ever. He's one of the funniest comedians out there. It's Daniel O'Reilly, also known as Dapper Laughs. Welcome to the
Wow.
Waffle Shop.
One of your favorite people ever. That's
Yeah.
mad. I love that.
It's literally
I
goes
love
like
that.
my mom, my sister, and then it's probably you. So
Oh, mate, I love that.
appreciate that.
You'll have to invite over for your, I should be having Christmas dinner with you and your family then.
Well, this is actually what I'm doing it for because the invites were a little bit slim this year. So I was hoping.
Good man, good man. Well, nice to meet you, Taylor. And we were just having a chat before. You've been dealing with my lovely PA, Jade. So big shout out to Jade for setting this up. She'll be listening.
Absolute
yeah,
legend.
big shout out to Jade. Yeah.
Right.
Wicked.
So getting into this, obviously,
Yeah.
I start each one of my shows with something called the Weekly Waffle, and it's something so petty and minor, but it's something that really fucking winds me up. So it's a chance for me to get it off my chest to make me feel a little bit better. And as it's Christmas, and forgive me with this because obviously I know you're a dad to obviously beautiful children, but the thing that really pisses me off about Christmas is Elf on a Shelf.
Mate, I've never done it. I don't do it with my kids. It's so pointless. I'm with you.
I hate
I'm
it.
with you.
Every time you go on
never done it.
social media, and do you know the what really winds me up is the ones that they'd use like chocolate spread and they pretend it's like something else, and it's just it makes me heave.
I've never really done that. The only thing that, I mean, obviously my kids are like 2 and 4 years old, so they're loving Christmas. And the best thing for me about Christmas is being able to constantly use Father Christmas as like a threat.
Yeah,
you know, not like he's going to beat the shit out of you. Like we say, like you're going to be on the yeah. Santa's watching, you know, so don't do that or you won't get your present. So come like after Christmas Day. I don't know what we're going to use, but yeah, that's the best
how
part.
far early in the year do you start that? Is it like December the 1st? Like, yeah, right. If they're behaving up,
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah,
that's
from January. Yeah, no, just be getting to December, but it does work a treat, you know. And another little thing that I like to do is I like to wrap up some empty boxes, and we got an open fireplace. So if they're really naughty, I actually start throwing their presents in the fire. I'm like, see, there you go.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, you're next. I say.
Oh, and it's environmentally friendly at the same time. They're burning, so it's a win-win. So have you got anything to get off your chest? Anything that winds you up?
No, not really. I think
quite positive guy now, aren't you?
I'm very positive. I think the only thing that really winds me up is probably the government, the constant lying from the government. I can't watch the news anymore. I just think it's mad how many people are blagged on a daily basis by their madness. But I'm positive, mate. I've done a show, Good Vibes Only. You know, I made a song, Good Vibes Only. Everything about me is about positivity. I like to keep, you know, slowly. I weed out negative people from my life, even whether it's family, friends, whatever. If you drag me down and you're negative and you spend time concentrating on negative stuff, I ain't got no place for you. So it's all about positivity.
No, to be honest, I completely agree with you. It took me to get to like 30 to realize that, you know, whether they're your friends and family and stuff like that, like if it's not kind of good for you, like your mental health or anything like that, then, you know, you're in a position where you can walk away. It's you know, we're here once, you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just purely I'm a businessman as well as a comedian and a creative. So in order to be creative on a daily basis and be focused on lots of different businesses, you really need to focus on your mindset, on the positive things, on things that make you tick and things that bring you down. And you can waste so much time thinking about the wrong thing in a day. So trying to fine tune that is elite stuff, mate. Definitely.
So I'm going to kind of throw it with that point there, because obviously I've watched your career from very like early doors, you know, to watch it, you know, what it is now. Like you won, especially in the UK, like probably one of the biggest and well-known kind of, I hate using the word like influencer, but like just like comedians, like your content guaranteed is going to get like shared, posted in group chats, wherever you are. Like you're going to, at some point, everyone's seen your face on their phone.
That's mad when you say it like that. Yeah.
But it is true though, isn't it? It's literally like, it's especially like from like it being like a young lad to going on, especially even now, like to go and watch it from like your like lad days to even now, like the stuff like you post about like your kids and stuff, like it's brilliant, mate. It's like so relatable on so many different levels.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
man.
right. But I do want to ask, because obviously there was a portion of that where it seemed to have kind of got a little bit much. And obviously you were making kind of headlines for like the wrong kind of reasons. Like looking back now, like, are you really proud of like the kind of what you've managed to achieve from that?
Yeah, I think it's difficult for me to stop. And you know, I go to counselling for it. It's difficult for me to stop and sort of appreciate my situation now. It's difficult for me to stop and go, oh, well done, you're successful. Well done, you know, your content is doing well done, you're financially stable and stuff like that, because I took such a beating and such a loss, and it was so sort of devastating what I went through when I lost my TV show, and when I was sort of, you know, when I fucked it all up, that since then it has been a non-stop constant graft to just not fail, because I felt the failure so much that it was sort of like I had to turn a corner at one point and just be like, no, you know, you ain't giving up, crack on. So I just work my fucking tits off, mate, to be honest with you. I just work my tits off. And I love creating comedy, and comedy to me is like, I should be doing it every day. So if I don't do it, or if I'm not coming up with something funny, I feel it. Do you know what I mean? I can feel like, you know, you're not relevant, or, you know, you're not working hard enough. So it's difficult to stop and be like, wow, it's, you know, you're still going, people are still watching. But I'm just blessed that there's anyone still watching, to be honest. You know what I mean?
I definitely still watch it. So I did fair. This is one of the reasons why I've like when I first set all this podcast up, like I put like a bit of a dream list together of like who I want on it. Obviously, I'm gonna kind of blow some more smoke up your ass here, but your name was like one of the first people that was added to the list. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to that stage one day. Like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
When you were first starting out, like what did like your kind of like comedic journey start? Like what inspired you to start kind of putting out the videos?
Man, to be honest with you, I just wanted to be called a comedian. I just wanted to do stand-up comedy. And from a very early age, I was trying to do acting. I wanted to do acting. I said to my mum that I wanted to be an actor when she said, as young as like 7, 8 years old, I was saying I want to do acting. I want to be on TV and in films. And that's what I studied. I've done performing arts school. I mean, I was a troubled kid, but I enjoyed drama, and I went to performing arts college and done singing, dance, and a musical theatre, and I just loved performing. And then I started watching when I was probably about 15 or 16, Lee Evans, and I watched Lee Evans perform on stage, and the way that he acted out his comedy to me was, you know, because I'd seen stand-up comedians just doing stand-up comedy, but the way he visually acted out and played the different characters, you know, if he was doing a joke about his wife, he'd turn into his wife or whatever. I was just in awe of it. And I'm not bullshitting you. I know it's a cliche, but I watched it and I thought, that's what I want to do. So to me, that was stand-up comedy. The dream was stand-up comedy. So through my career, I started off doing like holiday parks, and I went over to Cyprus, and I was doing the hotels, and I was doing like game shows. And I was doing family orientated game shows, and I was doing bits of comedy in that. And then I went on to cruise ships, and I worked on cruise ships for like 5 years. And I'd done cruise ships for years, mate. Traveled around the whole world, and I was like a host of Compare, and then I became a comedian. And I was actually got to the stage where I was flying on and off the ships and doing my own show. I was only young, my early 20s, and I was doing shows in front of thousands of people, you know, 1,500 people on the Royal Caribbean ships, right? So then I come back and I had to get a job and start a business, and I went back into doing comedy, and it was a real step back because I couldn't do family-friendly comedy in the comedy clubs. It had to be a bit brutal. So I went from like one extreme to the other. I was like, fuck it, let's go mental. You know, I created Dapper, the character, and I really pushed the boundaries with it. But it was just as Vine was coming about, the app Vine. And that Vine. Visual, me too. TikTok's No, I'm too old for I do
Yeah.
TikTok, but I feel like a nonce. I feel like a nonce when I'm on there. I'm like, fucking hell, what am I doing? It's the equivalent of fucking dancing at a wedding and your kids looking at you like, fuck off, dad. That's what it's like
Sit
when I
down.
TikTok. But you know, it's great. It's easy to grow on TikTok. But yeah, and just going all the way back to Lee Evans, Vine was like a visual representation of the jokes, you know, acting them out and visually creating the sketches and the characters. I just fucking had a knack for it, and I just loved doing it. And I turned my jokes into visual form, and it blew up. It just blew up from there, and I've been doing it ever since.
It is mad, like it's fair, especially now hearing like even like the backstory and stuff like that. Because I just thought, like, again, just like one of the lads, like, started to like doing these videos. So to hear, like, I think it's quite easy to people who kind of see like this, like, not overnight sensation. It's quite easy to get labeled with that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
but quite a lot of people don't see how much, like, you know, leg work and like you actually work, like working your bollocks off in the background to get to that point. They only see that like 15-20 minute kind of like second clip or whatever, and be like, oh yeah, no, that's easy. But then how many times, like, before like, you post a video, how many times do you rewatch that video before you post it?
Oh mate, like, well, first of all, you've got to write it, then you've got to rehearse it yourself, and then you've got to film it, and then you've got to edit it, and then there's fucking millions of videos that don't even make it, mate. I'll watch it a couple of times and I'll be like, it's good, but it's not great. Do you know what I mean? And also with a lot of the time with stuff to really pop, like I recently done a video on the new Omicron virus with Jim and Steve over the fence. I mean, on Facebook, it's up to like 30,000 shares. I think it's mad. Wow. And the numbers on Instagram and TikTok are great, but that happened all in one day. You know, I woke up, I saw what was going on the news, and my mind was going wild. I was up at about 4:30 in the morning, if not like earlier than that, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't sleep. I wrote it all, recorded it, and then I feel like it's only relevant today. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
if
you
I
need
didn't
to get it out there
today,
now,
it needs to go today. So you drop it, but then just before you post something like that, you're like, is this only this relevant to me? Like, am I the only one that's this pissed off about this? Because if it's a 4-minute rant that's maybe no one else cares about, but sometimes you drop them and everyone's thinking the same thing, and that's when it flies.
I think that's what makes you so relatable, though, because there's quite a lot of the videos that you post that you're saying what we are thinking, and you know we don't. And I think, especially, and obviously, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people here. We are sick. You mentioned at the beginning of the show, sick to death of listening to the same tit in front of that stage going on and on about the same. Like we're all just like, we're all just ready to crack on now. Like what will be will be. Like, I know that sounds like a little bit like thing, but regardless, it's going to happen whether we like it or not. So the best thing that we can do is just kind of focus on what we can control.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's this. I'm tossed up between it. I own a nightclub, so the whole thing's, you know, was a kick in the bollocks for me, because I bought it and pumped loads of money into it like weeks before the first lockdown. But on the flip side of it, you know, I think I'm posting more content than any other comedian in this country. I post more content and more videos. I do more stories, and I'm writing my stand-up every day. I think that I've got to be up there with probably one of the most highest rate of content coming out. And without the government and the lockdown, I wouldn't have had half of it. So you know,
negatives and positives.
Comedy comes from tragedy, mate, and it's fucking tragic, isn't it?
True. It's true. This sounds like my life story. With that, like, do you put any kind of like pressure on yourself, like, because this is something that I genuinely struggle with. Like, I need to like keep going at a certain rate. Like, do you ever take that step back, or actually like, no, like I've done it a lot recently? Do you ever take some time off?
The thing is, I'm like, from a mental health perspective, I'm terribly damaged with what happened, because I lost my father around the same time that I lost my house, because I lost my TV show, lost my manager, lost my money, lost my house, lost everything back in 2014, and it really fucked me up quite badly. And because of that, in order for me to be able to write and post daily, I need to be able to pay the bills, right, with something else. Do you know what I mean? Because the actual comedy content, it doesn't matter if I get 30, 40,000 views, or like some of my videos back in the day, 25, 30 million views. On Facebook and Instagram, you don't get paid per view on the small videos, right? So I need, you know, I need to pay the bill. So the thing is, that loss motivated me to create many, many different businesses, because I thought that at any time you could lose everything, right? Like I did. And because of that, for about 3 or 4 years, the amount of focus and work that has gone in from, I don't know, I do about 2 days work in a day, I reckon. I'm up at 4 o'clock and I'm not finishing till 7 or 8 o'clock. But I've got now so many different, I'll tell you what, I've got a list here of all the different businesses that I'm working on at the moment, because I've got to split them, because this is what I do. I sit with Jade in the morning. We go through the list of all the different businesses and what she's got to do on all of them. And I've got business partners on them. Yeah. So I've got like a property investment company. I've got my nightclub. I've got a film production company. We've got 3 films coming out next year. We've got a big new app launching called Front Fans. I've got a celebrity MMA business that's starting next year. I've got a run rally business with supercars. I've got 4 other brands that I own that I promote through my social media. And then on top of that, I've got my live stand-up stuff, and then all the affiliate and influencer stuff that I do with brands that come to me. So it's mental. But the beautiful thing about that is I'm fucking insanely rich now. I'm fucking mint, right? So I'm like fucking proper multi-millionaire now. So no one can say fucking nothing
there
to
you
me.
go.
I can just make funny videos all day long. So
do you ever like, so because there's a few bits I kind of want to unpick there with the amount of kind of hate that you got at that period of time, and then you kind of, you know, the downfall of everything, and obviously thank you for sharing that about like your dad and stuff, and obviously that kind of dark patch. Like, do you ever like now been like you said, do you use that kind of pain and turn it into like your motivation? Like, I think you kind of answered the question already, but like,
it is.
Even to like the people who like doubted you, like, do you kind of get that sense now of like, well, you can't say anything to me now because I've done the hard work?
To be honest with you, you know, I said and done some stupid stuff back then, but you know, if you look at who I was back then, I was like I was late 20s. I was living with like 3 other lads in Clapham. I was out drinking, doing drugs, chasing birds. I was a fucking maniac. Do you know what I mean? And I had no sense of fame or anything like that, or responsibility. And I also wanted to be as controversial as possible, because I learned very quickly that being controversial and out, you know, goes viral and grows you. So I was purposely naughty and pushing the boundaries and pissing people off, because it was getting everyone talking about me. So I look back on that time and I think, you know, I had what was coming to me. It was, you know, I said some disrespectful stuff, and but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, because that motivation, after I had everything taken from me and that embarrassment and that loss, it set me on a path now that I mean, there's no stopping me. No one can tell me I'm cancelled, or no one can tell me that I'm not allowed to do something, because like they told me that, you know, a lot of venues wouldn't have me. I couldn't do my stand-up for years, so I bought a nightclub, and that's why I'm doing my fucking stand-up now. You know what I mean? And and you know, I got the O2 booked in June through other business ventures that I've done. So I'm just I find ways around everything. No one's going to tell me nothing. Do you know what I mean? You got to kill them with success. But certainly. They wish I was gone. Do you know what I mean? Some of them. But
I hate using this word, but it is genuinely inspiring, especially from, I mean, I wouldn't have the podcast if I hadn't have hit rock bottom. And it's now like kind of being like a year on, being like, well, you know, beautiful things can happen from those really kind of like dark places.
Yeah, I always say to people, if you're at your lowest now, and my lowest, I luckily I spoke to the Samaritans, man. I was on my own and I spoke to the Samaritans. I was having dark thoughts, doing too many drugs and like self-destruct. And I think that anyone that finds himself in that position, you're quite lucky, really, because you're in the most, how can I put it, like, you're in the most powerful position you'll ever be in your life, because you'll never be more motivated than you are right now. You might not be able to feel it. You might feel like that you have nothing and you're not motivated, but really this could be the most motivated you've ever been. If you can just switch your mindset to, right, I've hit rock bottom. The only way is up now, and fuck it, you're not going to beat me. Because I think life is a fucker. And I honestly think that sometimes the life, whatever you want to call it, God, life, the universe, whatever it is, it has a funny way of fucking everything up for you just to make sure that you deserve what's next.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because for me, if you put me back then, well, I ended up living in my missus, like in my mother-in-law's up in Manchester in Tilsley, in their spare room. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have a pot to piss in. I had a pregnant missus and my dog in their spare room, and my dad had just died. If you take me back to that point, only 5 years ago, where I was thinking, how am I going to put any money together to even rent a place to put me and the missus in? And then now I know it's not about money, but now I'm sat here in a £2.5 million house, got a McLaren sat outside the front. My missus is out there. I've got 2 kids. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting work. Do you know what I mean? I've got my own businesses, and I'm like, fucking hell. That literally was just one change of mindset. Nah, man, fuck this. Head down, arse up. Let's go. It can't get any worse than this, so it can only get better. It's mad.
I feel like I want to clap. It is genuinely like the best advice. Because one of the questions I want to ask is like, what advice you have? But I think you just not like hit the nail on the head perfectly.
It's all, everything's about, everything is really about mindset. It's positivity. That's it. You've got to, if you think about that, if you can, like, this is what true like entrepreneurs and true like really successful people in their fields, what they learn is how to change their thought process like instantly. So say, for instance, something happens in your day-to-day life, your boss annoys you, or your missus says something, or you see something and you start feeling jealous, or something pisses you off and you can't, you get that circular thing where it just can't come out of your head. And you're like, oh my God, why did that happen? Oh my God, why? When you really learn out, if you learn, and I do it through counseling, I've done it through counseling. If you learn to notice your negative thought patterns and you break that cycle, you're just like that on a trajectory. Up, positive.
Powerful.
Nothing can stop you. Yeah. All you take from the day is the positive stuff and the little progresses you make. And suddenly you start thinking to yourself, I'm fucking flying, because nothing's stopping you. Because the only thing that ever stops you is those negative thoughts. It's mad, isn't it? I should write a fucking book.
Yeah, you should. Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah.
So I talk about coping mechanisms on the show quite a lot. And one of my biggest ones is music. Now, I know, obviously, you're a very big music fan, obviously, with your own nightclub and stuff like that. And as this is obviously the Christmas special, what's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, fucking hell. I don't know. I like really camp stuff. I like to get proper camp on Christmas. So I like to get tinsel around my head and dance around. So I don't know, man. I like all the old classics. Do you know what I mean? I like stuff that, because back in the day, my mum used to start playing Christmas music like end of November. So
love that.
I used one actually on a TikTok yesterday, rocking around the Christmas tree. That's my favorite. Classic. Yeah.
So when things like, once obviously, I know obviously you're sober now, aren't you? Which is incredible. Back in the day, like when you were like, out and about, having a good time, what was the song that was guaranteed to get you on the dance floor, or still guaranteed to get you on the dance floor?
Beautiful People by Chris Brown.
Strong choice.
Yeah, and do you notice how it was straight there?
Yeah, that you didn't even think of that.
It's always in my head, that one. It's just like, I saw the music video to it once where he's just like cruising through the city and he's dancing and he's making the music. And any Michael Jackson song, because
you've got the moves. You've got the moves.
I can do all the moves. Yeah. That's what I used to do when I was younger. Watch Michael Jackson and practice the dance moves in my bedroom. And I can remember I lived in a bungalow, and all my mates come to see if I was coming out on the piss when I was about 15, 16. I was in there doing fucking moonwalks. And they used to mug me off loads till we started going out clubbing. I'll throw the moonwalk out in our local nightclub and nick all the birds, you see. So I love anything Michael Jackson. Beautiful People's a big one, and a massive garage fan. So I've made some garage music myself. So back in the day, yeah. So
Wait, so hang on a minute. So on top of these kind of businesses, we're now expecting a book. Can we expect an album?
no. I've done that
Oh,
back
for
in the day.
fuck's sake, mate.
Yeah,
Come
no,
on.
I'm a bit old for that. A bit old for that, mate.
Nah, they're all doing it now.
Yeah, no. Back in the day, I thought I was going to be a famous MC, but it didn't happen. But yeah, no.
Yet.
Good fun. Good fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What song makes you cry? What puts you like in your feels if you're having like a bit of a shit day? Like what brings out the tears?
Anything from A Star Is Born.
Oh, fuck that. That gave me goosebumps. That
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
So
a kick in the bollocks.
yeah, me and the missus loved that one. That's an emotional one for us. And yeah, it'll probably be our wedding song because we get married in June next year. So yeah, anything A Star Is Born.
Strong choices. Mate, I am genuinely like on cloud nine that you agreed to have a waffle with me. Like I've genuinely like it's genuinely like a bucket list thing ticked off for me.
Who else have you got coming on then, or have you had on?
So I've had people like Scarlett Moffat. I've had on. I did a little thing with Ed Sheeran, which wasn't like a full blown episode. So I've got him coming out like in a few weeks' time, potentially next year.
How did that come about? Do you know him?
No, because I've just like because of like how the kind of podcast has been going, it's kind of getting like a bit of attention that I didn't really expect. Because this to me, mate, this to me is therapy. Like just having a tech chat with like some of my favorite people, like you know, hear about their struggles or their life, and like hearing what they did to get to where they need to be. And it's just kind of like getting picked up by like local radio stations. Like last night I went to the Mobo Awards, which was insane. For like I met Chicken Shop date girl.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was literally like starstruck. Chicken Shop. I don't even know a name other than.
Hold on. This dog's going mad. Go out. Go on, out. So yeah, go on. Chicken Shop girl.
I don't even know a name. It was literally just like that's Chicken Shop girl.
I love that.
But yeah, no, it's just, but I think this is kind of like going back to like what we were saying, like it's kind of that real kind of like rock bottom makes you really appreciate these kind of moments because it's just like, it's your hard work that's got you to this point.
Yeah,
it's a real kind of sense of pride.
No, I try. Yeah, thank you, man. And I can tell you're feeling it as well. So it's good. You just got to keep grafting. Unfortunately, with this stuff, it's difficult to feel your success. Do you know what I mean? Until maybe it's too late, until someone takes it away from you. But I do try and stop and think. The best way to do it is to just try and think back to when you, like personally, when you thought to yourself, I want to be where I am now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think back to a former self and think, do you remember, you know, and I think to myself, like, I take so much for granted, being able to, you know, having followers, being able to sell out stand-up shows,
you
know, people recognizing me on the street and stuff like that. I have to look back and think, come on, man, there was someone once that would be looking at this going, what the fuck's going on? Do you know what I mean? So it's nice. Yeah, my kids make me feel like it. You know, I spend when I can turn my phone off and spend time with my kids, I think to myself, I'm so lucky that I've got all of this for the kids. Do you know what I mean? It's nice.
Oh, mate. Oh no, we can tear to my eye. One last question. So obviously we've talked about like the past a little bit. I want to fast forward. Are you the O2 Arena? What's the crack? So are you scared? Are you nervous? Like what's?
Oh no, it's the
big.
Indigo. It's the Indigo at the O2. So it's about 2.5
Mate, it's still the O2. It's do you know what I mean?
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I guess like I get scared of anything. Like I wanted to do I'm doing loads of warm-up shows at my club before the big one. So you know, I put the warm-up show on sale last night, Sunday night. And I was, you know, I'm like, I'm going to put it on my Instagram. I'm going to say that I'm performing, and you never know, you know, I might have this all completely wrong. People out there might not give a fuck, and people might just be like, fuck him. Like, all right, some of his videos are funny, but I'm not paying money to go and see him. You never know. So as soon as I put something out, I'm like, am I still relevant? Is this still going to work? And I sold it out straight away. We sold it out in like 40 minutes.
There you go.
So I was like, fucking hell, I still got it. Do you know what I mean? So the actual doing the show, like going and doing the show, I'll be nervous beforehand. But once I get on stage and I grab the mic, I know they're all there to see me. And as long as I've got enough to talk about it, it'd be fucking brilliant. But it's more the selling the shows that scares the life out of me, because you never know. There's gonna come a time when maybe no one's gonna want to come, and you know.
I'm petrified. I'm doing my first one on the 5th of March next year.
Stand up or like a live show?
Yeah, like a live kind of podcast. I've got like a musical guest. I've got like 2 people coming for like a waffle, and I'm shitting myself. Shitting.
Really? Well, how many people are listening to you now?
So per episode, it's well over like the 1,000 mark, like kind of like per episode. I tend not to look at the numbers because I get so kind of wrapped up, like, why is no one listening to that one? Like, why is that one like doing better than that one? Like it made me nearly quit it at one point. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's exciting though, because I just want to keep pushing myself and getting myself out my comfort zone.
Because you've got to remember, all those people that are listening, they're tuned in now, and if they come and watch you live, you've already won. They've already supported you, so you've just got to have fun,
mate.
Yeah, and always remember. Go on, mate. Go on.
No, go on. No, go on.
I was going to say, always remember, if you ever get nervous before you do something live, just always think to yourself, tomorrow you're going to wish you could do it all over again. And that should get you in the right mindset.
That's fucking brilliant. Mate, you have genuinely been an absolute dream to have a waffle with. So I can't thank you enough. And more importantly, I can't thank Jade enough for putting it all together. So...
All right, mate. And listen, anything I can do to help, you just let me know. I'll share the episode and we'll get those viewers up. We'll get you more listeners. I love that, mate.
I appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, man. You have a good Christmas too, Taylor. I hope Santa empties his sack for you.
Oh, I thought you were a changed man.
Never.